Formidable.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I have a problem with my camera.
Oh.
I'm sorry,
But
but we can see you perfectly. So,
yes, perfectly.
so I'm
Okay.
Pascal, purchasing manager. Okay, so you Steve?
Yes, pleasure to
Yeah,
meet you,
right.
Pascal.
Nice to meet you. So we already spoke each other. And Gilda, one of three chefs, who will be in charge of the demo next Monday with this key account, Chicken Street. Okay,
Okay.
and so would like to be trained a little bit.
All right, so I also have Chef Ryan Tucker. He's our corporate chef here in Louisville, Kentucky at our corporate office.
Yeah.
He's
Hello.
going to be helping me out with everything today. So
Okay.
just a quick background. I don't know if you know about Winston Fryers and how we got started. We actually started with Kentucky Fried Chicken back in 1969 when Colonel
Yeah.
Sanders and Winston Shelton, our founder, were actually friends with each other. And the Colonel was looking how to prepare chicken in a quicker, safer fashion. So that's when they
Okay.
came up with the pressure fryer. It's very similar to how it is today. The only thing that's actually changed is really the controller outside of that.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
what
but
we're-
this model is the one that we have.
Yes,
Yeah.
this
Yes,
is
yes.
Okay.
yes, this is the exact fryer that you have in the at your
Yeah, okay.
location now. So
Okay,
what we
perfect.
do, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the review at the exterior. So these are both the same fryer. These are the LP56 fryers, and I'm just going to have our cameraman zoom in. So in the rear of the fryer, you have our vent tube along with our dead weight. So this dead weight is rated for 3 psi. So over 3 psi, it's going to vent the pressure out of it. That's what makes it a low pressure fryer. So you just simply place that in here. On-
C'est la support. La support.
Yep. Feel free to ask any questions as we go along, or if you want to type something in.
But again, so this part, what is it for exactly? If you could repeat.
Les obligations.
So this is a vent tube. So as pressure builds up inside the fryer, it's released in the rear. This
Okay.
dead weight is rated for 3 psi, pounds per square inch, and as the pressure releases, it gets vented out the rear.
C'est comme qu'à côté de minutes, tu fais pchit, là, tu vois.
Ah, ok. Donc, il faut mettre.
Yes, it's,
So,
it's pressure control.
Yeah, pressure control. We absolutely need this to be installed.
It's part of the fryer that came with it. It's
Ah,
all
yeah.
it's all part of the assembly.
Déjà comme ça.
Ok.
Okay, good. Understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the front of the fryer, we have our controller.
Mhm.
This is a 20-channel programmable controller. Then we have the lid that makes it a pressure fryer. And we also have in the bottom up here, as part of the fryer, we described earlier, is a collector. And in the bottom of the fryer right here, what this does is it collects the crumbs. So the fryer itself is operating at approximately 325 to 350 degrees, but the cold zone in the bottom here is about 225 degrees. As the crumb falls off the chicken and it goes down into the bottom of the fryer, it does not continue to cook. That's part of the magic of the fryer. So it will collect the crumb as you're cooking. So you should get a full day's worth of cooking without having to filter the fryer.
Okay. So là-dedans, en fait, c'est la température est plus basse, c'est en fait là où tombent toutes les merdes.
Toutes les merdes. D'accord.
Ouais.
Mais avant toute chose, il faut la remplir d'huile. Ou-
Ah ouais, mais ça, je pense qu'on va le voir après.
Ouais.
So so is this automatic filtering system?
No, it's not. We have a separate filter machine that we ship
Oh, yeah.
to you as well, and we'll go through that at the end of the cook cycle.
yeah,
We'll show you
yeah.
how to go through the filter.
Okay, good. Okay, understood.
Ok.
Okay. So I'll just
Yeah.
describe quickly some of the tools we'll be using. Right here is our tamping tool. This is also used to stir and agitate the oil at the beginning of the cook. We have a spatula that's used for scraping down the inside of the well. A coil brush for the rear of the coils inside the well. A large brush for the inside of the well and the front of the coils. We have a heat plate. This plate is what transfers heat from the top of the well to the bottom of the collector. This is what keeps the oil at approximately 225 Fahrenheit. Okay?
So you will demonstrate after, I suppose.
Yes. I'm just making sure you're aware of the parts, okay? The last part we're going to have here is the drain, and this is going to be part of the filter process. This gets screwed into the drain valve. These all came with the package that was shipped to you. I just want you to be aware of everything that came with the fryer. Okay? Okay, so when you start the fryer.
Okay, sorry.
So before starting the fryer, what we want to do, I'm gonna slide this fryer around so Chef can show you how to put on the lid gasket and the collector gasket.
And also, while we're doing this, feel free to type in any questions you may have in the chat box. We have somebody monitoring the chat as well, and they can tell us the questions, because we're underneath the hood vent system right now, so we may not be able to hear 100% of what you're saying. So, so we'll get into the gaskets. These are very important to the pressure fryer because, one, the smaller gasket is going to hold the collector in place. You use the hook tool to pull the collector out, and this is where all the crumb is going to be on the inside of the. It's going to collect in here during the cooking of the day, and you'll empty this out during the filter process. So you have this small gasket here, the small blue one. It's going to fit around.
Okay.
Trying to do it without it slipping out of my hand here, like that. So there is actually a groove on here that this just goes into place. And then you set your collector back down. Before I do that, you have an eye hook in here as well. That's what you hook and pull it out of the fryer.
Okay.
Try to line this hook. This hook needs to be lined up to the front facing the fryer, so it's for easier access when you go to pull it out.
Yeah, okay.
So you set that in place, and then you take.
Yeah, so I suppose that you have to remove this part only when the oil is cold.
Yeah, so it's best when you're filtering these, you want to let the oil cool down for 15 or 20 minutes. It's still going to be hot, but it's more manageable if you let it cool down. If you can let it cool down for an hour or so before you can clean it, that's even better. But if it's too cold, then you may run into issues running through the filter machine.
Okay.
It'll be very slow.
If you don't, the cold oil will slow down the motors of the filter machine.
Okay, so this part has to be removed to be cleaned, I suppose.
Every day during the cleaning.
Every day?
Every day at the end of the day, when you do your fryer cleaning, you'll remove that collector and move that gasket. And then you can store the gaskets in cold water in a reach-in cooler or your walk-in cooler, and maybe have an extra couple as well.
And how many cooking can you do with this gasket?
So the gasket itself should last approximately 6 months if you're swapping back and forth. It'll just keep the gasket longer. Like Chef Ryan had said, if you take the gasket off at the end of the day and you place it in cold water inside the walk-in box, it'll extend the life of the gasket.
Okay. Ça dure 6 mois.
Pourquoi?
Le joint, t'as vu.
Donc ça, il faudra le changer tous les 6 jours. Ça sera des
Tous les 6 mois.
petits mois.
Ouais. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so moving forward, so we put the collector down in the fryer. So then you're going to take your tamping stick, and you're actually going to tamp it down. So 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times for good measure. And what that does is going to help seal that collector down in the fryer and keep the oil from leaking out. I'm just going to set this here for now. And then we have our lid gasket as well. So typically what you'll want to do is dip the gaskets,
C'est
the
bon, je
lid
les ai retrouvés,
gasket
il
in
est avec.
cold
Ah, on a un
oil.
deuxième pain.
That way you don't end up hurting yourself. But I'm going to put these gloves on for protection because I'm actually going to dip this in the hot oil that we have ready to fry the chicken in. So we're going to, just a little, you don't need a lot. So you dip the gasket and then you run it through your hands to make sure that it's evenly coated around the gasket. And what that's going to do is help. So once you close the lid to cook the chicken and when you go to open it, by lubricating the gasket like this, it keeps the lid from sticking. If you don't do this, that lid gets stuck and you're going to have a really hard time pulling the lid up. Also, there is if you look at the gasket,
Donc
you
là, tu
can
plonges
see
dans
the
l'huile
seam.
chaude.
Go ahead. Have a question?
No, this gasket you put in oil.
Haute.
Just a
I
lubricant.
A
don't know
little
the
bit of
English
oil
name.
just to lubricate the gasket so it seals properly and is easier to open.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you can find the seam on this gasket that puts the two ends together. And what you want to make sure that you do is the seam on the gasket is actually goes on the bottom. This one already has it. I'll do it over here. So the seam goes towards the bottom, which would be a 6 o'clock.
Every day, you.
Every
You
day.
have to remove also this gasket every day.
Yeah, every day this would be a part of the cleaning process. You remove the gaskets, you can wash them with soap and water, and then store them in cold water in the refrigerator, reach-in cooler, walk-in cooler as well, with the smaller gaskets too.
Once you have the gaskets on, what we're going to do is we're going to fill the well. Just going to zoom in over here. So there is a fill line inside of the well. We're going to fill with oil. Then we're going to turn on the machines. The coils have to be covered with oil to the fill line before turning on the fryer. Once the fryer is filled, we can then turn on.
And
the
you have
fryer.
a mark? You have a level in the fryer for the minimum of oil? It's indicated?
Yes, j'ai vu.
Ah oui? Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you. Okay.
So just switch here. You will turn on the fryer. What it's going to take? It's going to take about 45 minutes from cold to cook. So what you'll do?
45 minutes. Okay.
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 Yeah.
So once you turn it on,
La température de consigne pour lui, c'est combien?
And what is the standard temperature? I mean, when it's hot, ready to cook.
I'm gonna go to ready. I'm gonna go. So we're almost ready to cook here. So we've warmed it up a little bit, but I'm just describing. So as it heats up, what'll happen is you'll see drop come on, and then what you'll do is you'll take the stir and you'll go down to the bottom. You'll stir the oil vigorously and then raise up.
Off camera.
C'est pour uniformiser.
Ah oui, ça doit y avoir de la merde.
Just 1 second, we lost the camera.
Yeah.
All right. Oh. Just 1 second, we lost the camera. We're pulling it right back up.
Non, mais j'ai pas demandé à faire travailler dans une cuve à mazout.
It's on. Steve, we're on.
You could do, okay, all right, you're on. All right, so again, we'll stir, we'll come back up, and the temperature will raise. And at the third time when it hits drop, then we are ready to cook. So I'll let this drain for a second. Thank you.
Donc, il bouge l'huile, en fait.
Ouais.
Faut tout le temps bouger l'huile.
So, and you should use this tool, okay?
Yes, you have to use this tool. Once we've finished stirring and we've passed our final drop, what we're going to do is we're going to put in the heat plate that I showed you earlier. This plate, like I said, is going to transfer the heat from the top of the well down to the bottom of the oil, and that's going to help us maintain that approximately 225-degree temperature. So what you'll do is I'll put on the gloves.
So while Steve is doing that, we recommend that you stir the oil 3 times before you ever drop chicken. Stir 3 times. When you turn it on and it starts to heat up, you'll hear the heating elements kick on and off. And once it says drop on the screen, that's the first time you stir. So it'll say drop. You stir.
You have a message. You have a message on the screen.
Can you get that, Rob?
Lee, is there a message?
No. He's saying.
Oh,
So the screen here on the programmer says drop.
Oh.
So the first time it says drop, you stir it, and you'll actually see that the temperature show up on that screen.
C'est propre, il faut mélanger. Ok.
It'll drop under 300 degrees typically. So then it's going to come back up to temperature, and it'll say drop a second time. Then you stir it again,
Yeah.
and the temperature drops, and then it says drop a third time, stir it again for the third and final time, and then you'll be ready to drop chicken the next time it says.
Okay. Okay, so first time drop, you use this
Stir.
tool, okay? Okay.
And
And
next
then
says
I
drop.
guess that the message drop disappear. Then you wait until the second drop. You
Yep.
stir, okay? And then the third one, you have to stir a third time. Okay,
And
and
then-
then it's ready to cook.
Yes, so 3
Okay.
stirs. It'll say drop after that third stir, and then
Yeah,
you're
okay.
ready to cook chicken.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Donc,
what happens is, if you don't stir it enough, that cold oil at the bottom, once you drop the chicken into the fryer, that cold oil is gonna get pressure, it's gonna be pushed up from the collector and mix in with the hot oil, and then you have a temperature variance that's not suitable to fry chicken in. So you end up with
Yeah,
undercooked chicken.
pour
So
ça que le
you
fait
want to
de-
make sure that it's properly stirred and up to temperature before you drop the chicken.
Yeah, en fait, le fait de mélanger, ça permet de la température.
Yeah. So next step. So once you've got your oil stirred, hot, and ready to cook, you're actually going to want to dip your baskets. So you have the quarter rack.
You should, excuse me, you should show us again this part that you put in the fryer,
The heat
the
plate.
plate.
the
Got it.
plate.
I got it. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I can get that. No,
Okay,
I can't do it.
and maybe with the camera or just over,
Can you zoom
just
out
to
on this one?
understand how it's installed.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, not a problem.
Thank you.
So it's kind of hard to see.
Ça, il faut mettre ça
Ouais.
dedans.
Attends. Ouais, il a mis ça tout à l'heure. Ça, voilà.
So we have it connected
Okay.
to the hook.
Donc ça, c'est tout le temps, c'est constant.
Ouais,
Ok.
faut le mettre.
Ok.
After the third drop message, right?
After the third
Avec
stir,
toutes ces plaques.
when it says drop again, then you put your
Okay.
heat plate in. And
N'importe comment, dans le fond, dans la tour du fond.
it'll just fall into place. There's no where those slot or anything. It just falls down into the collector and it just
Yeah,
sits in the
okay.
collector.
Okay.
Qu'est-ce que ça apporte?
And what is the use exactly of this part?
So the
I
heat
didn't-
plate- So the heat plate is going to hold on to the residual heat of the oil that sits on the top, and it's going to help maintain the temperature of the oil that's in the collector to a 225 degrees roughly, down in
Ah, il est
collector.
pas bien.
That way that it's less recovery time. So once you
Okay.
get done cooking your chicken, then that heat plate helps hold in the heat into the oil. so it doesn't take as long to heat back up.
On est d'accord, la température est déjà dedans, là. On a,
Ah oui, oui. Bah là, c'est quand tu mets cette
Mhm.
pièce, c'est le troisième drop, donc c'est chaud.
C'est chaud, ok. La
100
température qui conseille tout le temps. C'est
So
tout le temps-
225 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius
Ah yeah, in the bottom.
in the bottom, in the
Yes.
collector,
And
100 degrees.
in the cooking area, what is the temperature?
So we're gonna cook today at 350 degrees,
Fahrenheit.
which I'm being,
We're-
that's Fahrenheit. which-
We're working on the conversion.
Celsius, please.
176, 176 Celsius.
176.
Donc on est sur la même température qu'une friteuse.
Ok.
Ok.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Sometimes il y a des chefs qui speak for to change.
Attends, dis-le mot en français.
Il y a des recettes qui demandent d'avoir une autre température ou
Ah, yeah, okay. So do you have a specific recipes which should ask for different temperatures? Maybe in the controller.
Yes, we're gonna get to the programming of the controller
Okay.
in just a minute.
Yeah, okay.
But real quick, before we do that, another important step to the frying of the chicken, after you get your gaskets in place and the heat plate is in there, you'll actually take the quarter rack with your basket, your shelves. I've got 6 here because we're gonna do a 6-head cook. We're actually gonna dip this into the fryer itself, into the oil, just for a couple of seconds. And then we're gonna let that drain. We'll let that drain for a couple of minutes. And what that actually does is it lubricates your baskets and your quarter rack. That way your chicken doesn't stick to the racks
Yeah, okay.
during the
understood.
cooking process.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into the controls. Go ahead and do that now. So right now, this is set on channel 3. And on this controller, it'll say OR6 HD, which is 6 head. This is a 6-head fryer, so we're gonna cook 6 heads of chicken, 6 whole chickens. So to program these channels, you can do it at any channel you want. So what we're gonna do is, we're on channel 3, so we're gonna hit program, up, up, down, down. And that's gonna show us what that channel is, the firmware is on the channel now. So it says PROG for program. You're gonna hit enter. We're on PC5. You can change that to 4, 5, 6. But we're gonna
Is the
stay-
number of pieces of chicken?
So PC5 is a part of the programming software.
You're gonna send
Pretty complex
Okay.
explanation on that. So we generally use PC5 whenever we are only cooking at one set temperature and one set time. So we're gonna set it automatically. We're just gonna select 5 for PC5, hit enter. And the high setting is how hot you want your fryer oil to be. We're gonna be at 350 degrees Fahrenheit today, which I said earlier is 176 Celsius. You hit enter, so you can, I'll show you, hit the up and down button to change.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to set it at a lower temperature.
Okay.
We'll go back to 350. Enter. T1 is for time. So we're gonna cook this for 15 minutes. But again, you can go in and add time, less time, whatever you may need to do based off the product that you're cooking. So this is a general setting for fried bone-in chicken. So whenever you do this
Okay.
demo, you'll set it
So-
for PC5, 15 minutes, 176 Celsius. So we're at 15 minutes, we hit enter, and then it says drop. We're ready to cook.
Okay, so just to be sure, because it's an important part for us, so I
Sure.
can see that you can have 20 programs. No, you have 20 buttons.
Right. You can do 20 different settings. So if you were
Settings,
using,
yeah.
if they were frying their bone-in chicken on channel 1, 2, or 3, then maybe they have chicken tenders or
Yeah, okay, because look,
a different product.
if we want, because tomorrow we will train on the machine, okay, in our demo kitchen. And so if we want, for example, to make tenders and then chicken with bones, I don't know the name, okay, so we should have 2 programs, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 2
Yeah,
separate
okay.
programs.
So
You'll need
if
a-
we want to do that, so just if you could show again,
Okay, so
if you want to.
we'll go ahead and show channel. We'll do channel 4. Rob, if you want to zoom in on this. So what we'll do is right now we're at channel 3. We want to switch to channel 4 and program channel 4. So we
Okay.
hit the number 4, hit program, up,
Okay.
up, down, down.
Up, down, down. Each time you need to twice up and twice down.
Yes,
Correct.
correct.
Each channel that you're going to program, you hit program, up, up, down, down.
2 fois sur.
2 fois sur la flèche du haut, 2 fois sur la flèche du bas, ça te donne accès au programme. Je viendrai avec toi, monsieur, pour
Oui.
essayer.
2 fois. Flèche.
Okay, so up, down, down. Okay, and
Up,
then
up, yeah, program, up, down, down. We're
Okay.
in program mode, so we're going to hit
Okay.
enter. PC
Enter.
1. We'll go to PC 5 again.
so
Enter.
each time you need to put PC5.
Yes.
Donc, faut
Each
choisir
time it's gonna
PC
ask
entrée,
you-
Et après, c'est PC5. Après, PC5. T'appuies sur le 5.
Ouais. 5, ça correspond à quoi? C'est quoi?
Because what does
Why
it mean PC5? It's only for chicken or
So
it's
PC
what is
actually
it?
stands for proportional control. So it's a kind of complex, actually. It's a part of, depending on the weight of the chicken that you're cooking, it
Yeah.
tells the fryer how much time needs to be added or deducted, depending on the weight of the chicken.
So okay,
that
so
makes
we should not change anything or try a PC4 or PC6 or PC1 or whatever.
You can, PC5 is safe to use for pretty much all standard operations,
Okay. PC5.
Ok.
just to
Et
keep
en fait,
things
c'est-
simple.
Okay,
We'll just
good.
stick with PC5.
Okay.
So now we're in the temperature settings. So if you want to cook your chicken tenders at 350, we'll leave it at 350. Hit enter, and then your
So-
time.
Okay, so PC5 then inner, okay? And then you have the
Right.
temperature.
PC5,
Right.
enter, and then it goes into your temperature settings.
Right.
So you change your temperature to whatever temperature you want it to be. Hit enter again, and then we're going to go into time settings.
La touche 5, ça va te donner PC5. Après, tu fais encore entrer.
Enter.
Et là, tu règles la température.
Ok.
Okay,
La température. Ok.
okay,
Okay.
good.
So now
Temperature, good.
we're on the times. So, and with chicken tenders, it depends on the size of the chicken tender itself, the
Yeah.
breading. I would say maybe pressure fried at 4 minutes.
4 minutes for a standard tender, 4 to 6, depending on the.
So we're gonna say 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
This is gonna cook the chicken tenders for 4 minutes.
Okay. Les tenders, ils suggèrent 4 minutes.
Do you know the spec of the tender you're using and the current time and temp that they're cooking it in with the Henny Penny?
No. Regarding this customer, this is a question?
Yeah, for the customer that you're going to be meeting, do you know the time and
Yeah,
temp that they
no,
currently
we
use?
still don't have, we still don't have the product.
Okay,
If you
So we
actually
will
go,
have this, it will be a live demo, I mean, so we will have the food at the time, c'est ça, on va ils vont venir avec leur bouffe, c'est toi qui fais.
Non, non, mais normalement, ils arrivent avec leurs produits.
Your customer will come with his own products.
Normalement.
so in the owner's manual that came with your fryer, you can actually find the reference sheet on the settings for products, whether it's bone-in chicken or chicken tenders, chicken wings. That'll actually have reference points in the owner's manual at the preferred temperature and time settings.
Okay,
And
so
the
maybe if we can get this, let's say, spec sheets of the chickens, maybe we'll try to get this before the end of the week and maybe share with you, and maybe
Yeah.
you could help. But I'm not sure to be able to do that, but we'll try.
No
Yeah,
problem.
Because
no
if
problem.
you say it's a big one, so you should cook 6 minutes or whatever, because we will not be able to test the customer's products tomorrow, only to test our products. Should be similar, but not sure.
Et
Right.
à savoir si c'est des produits qui vont plonger surgelés.
So yes, we can cook freeze products, surgelé, frozen
Frozen?
product.
Cook from
Direct?
frozen.
Yeah, you would just
Question.
Yeah.
adjust the time and temp, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a time adjustment. If they are cooking
adjustment.
products from frozen, then you may want to get their specifications, what they're using currently. That way
Yeah.
you can set it up according to what they're using now.
Yes, but
Mo-
I expect the cooking time to be longer. So,
It'll definitely be
definitely
different.
longer.
Yeah. So we always recommend, with most of our settings and recommendations, we're looking at fresh products,
yeah,
whether that be bone-in chicken or chicken tenders. We're focused on fresh chicken, not, but there are applications for frozen. But if
okay.
they're currently
And so,
using any,
and for chicken with bones, with the cooking time you suggest is 15 minutes, no? I've heard on.
On bone-in.
with the bone-in chicken, 15 minutes, yes,
Ouais,
Combien?
donc 15
Pour
at
les-
176
pour
Celsius.
les cuisses, les pilons, là, quand t'as de l'os.
It depends on the size of the bird itself.
Voilà.
So what would kilograms be for a 3-pound bird? So if it was a 1.5 kilogram bird, it would be 15 minutes.
Moi, j'ai pas.
Ah, ouais, pour 1,5 kg.
Ok. On est d'accord. Est-ce qu'on peut mettre en place des programmes correspondant à différentes pièces de poulet? Ah, ok, d'accord, j'avais pas entendu.
T'as 20 programmes. Après, sorry in French to explain.
No, it's fine, please.
Non, non, en fait, so I will try in English after, and you will correct me. En fait, t'as 20 programmes. C'est basique, tu sais, c'est bas, haut, tu rentres dans le programme. PC 5, après, tu ajustes ta température et le temps.
D'accord, ok. Et après, tu valides et tu vas chercher un
Après,
autre.
tu valides. Voilà. Et tu as ton programme. So I understood that we can set until 20 settings, okay? If needed, difference. Then
Yes.
should be only PC5, okay?
Yes.
We can adjust the temperature, the time, and we can then have our program. I mean, so if the customer needs 5 different program settings, so 5 buttons, okay, and you cannot give names to the settings, no, like a recipe. I mean, no, it's not possible.
No, we're not inputting a recipe name into the controller.
No, it's only program 1, program 2.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So they would need a separate diagram or sheet to show that channel 1 is bone-in chicken, channel 2 is chicken tenders.
Because, you know, we are very used now, for example, on combi ovens, even on FryMaster fryers now, we have touch panel with pictures, etc.
Yeah.
No, this is a very simple controller.
Yeah, this is a much simpler controller, so it doesn't
simple.
have the capability of putting the recipe name.
But, you know, it can be simple but effective. I mean,
Correct.
Because the operators they know nothing about cooking. So it must be simple.
If they do want to use, I mean, if they are going to use all 20, it's just what we showed you. All they're going to do, all you need to do is press 19 or press 20 or 15, whichever channel it is, and then do the program up, down, down.
Et après, ok.
Oui.
Ok.
Oui,
D'accord.
t'appuies sur le bouton,
Ouais.
après tu programmes.
Après, je programme dans PC5, Hunter. Ok, d'accord.
Après c'est bon.
Ok.
Okay. Good.
All right, so we got the baskets dipped. So like I said, it's important to dip these before you bread any chicken and load the baskets.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
way the chicken doesn't stick. So we're gonna remove that.
Ouais.
That it was.
C'est
We'll
très
just set this off to the side here. Now we'll go into, I've already got some chicken pre-breaded. So I'll show you the breading or the positioning of the chicken. We can get a close up.
venir là.
Ouais. Euh,
Ok. Tiens, regarde un exemple, comment c'est positionné.
So we have thighs, it's thigh, wing, and thigh. And
Yeah.
then the two legs, two wings here, and then two breasts here.
Okay. So only bones there.
Yes,
This is all bone in,
yes.
correct?
You cannot mix tenders and bones.
No, they're gonna be completely different cook
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
chicken tenders will cook much
Yeah, yeah.
faster than bone-in chicken. So like I said, we just got them lined up. This way, you don't want them to overlap. It's okay if they touch a little. That's gonna happen. But if they were overlapping each other, then you're gonna get inconsistency in your cook. The crispness of the skin, the color of the skin, and maybe some undercooked pieces if they were to be laid on top of each other. Plus, if they're evenly spaced out properly, they're gonna load a lot easier into your quarter rack.
Ouais, donc faut pas les foutre en pile, là. Comment?
And we have diagrams, and it's in the owner's manual as well. In the owner's manual, there's diagrams to reference this as the pictures of how to position the chicken. Questions on that?
Any questions with the,
No, I
Spacing,
think
racking?
it's important to well put on the basket the chicken pieces.
Yeah. So we'll load the rack itself. Start from the bottom. And you want to make sure that when you load these, that they're loaded all the way to the back. If they're hanging off a little like this, they're not going to go into the fryer. It'll get hung up as you try to drop it into the fryer.
Il y aura un petit cran.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a mis comme chapelure, là, comme
And on each of the racks, I'll show you. Let me get this loaded here. So that, like I said, this is a 6 head, just like the one you have. So 6 head of chicken, 6 whole chickens, one on each rack.
Okay, 6 on each level.
So you have
36.
one chicken
36 pièces.
per,
36 pieces.
so it's eight
36
pieces of
pieces, right?
chicken.
Yeah, okay.
8 pieces of chicken on each rack.
Ah non, oui.
8 par
48,
grille.
48 pieces
Eight.
of chicken.
48.
Yes,
total.
correct, 48.
Pieces. So the great thing about these racks is something you'll want to mention this as well. They have legs on the bottom that actually, whenever the chicken is cooked, you'll see that in a few minutes. We'll pull this out, set it on a sheet tray, and those legs keep it elevated. That way,
Oh, yeah.
it's not setting in the oil, and then it goes
Yeah.
straight into a holding cabinet on a tray.
Yes, ça te permet quand tu
We'll
les
show
sors,
that as well.
Ça s'égoutte. Ça te trempe pas dedans, quoi. Connerie, ça. De toute façon, il va les cuire.
So we're ready to go into the fryer now.
Yeah.
Les mecs, ils achètent, là.
It's important to put your gloves on whenever you go to drop your chicken, because you don't want the hot oil splashing up on your arms. And with the hook, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, your dominant hand goes on this handle here that's closest to your chest, and then your other hand goes at the top here. So I'm
Yeah.
actually going to grab the basket with this hook, lift
Okay.
up, and when I go to lower it in the basket, or I mean in the fryer, you just kind of as a swooping motion,
Yeah,
release
okay.
it from the basket, and then bring this up out of the way. So it hooks right into the center like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we'll go into the
Combien
fryer.
de kilos ça fait, là?
So it's heavy, no? How many kilograms is this full basket?
The basket itself without the chicken
Yes, with full of chicken.
Three times six.
Full of chicken, we're probably,
With the basket and the chicken, it's approximately 20 pounds.
20
So
pounds.
how many kilograms?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, we're,
we're working.
all right, so under, approximately 12 kilograms, 11 and a half to 12 kilograms fully loaded.
12 kilograms. Okay.
18.
Fully
Donc,
loaded. And that's based upon a 1.5 kg bird.
Yeah, okay, okay. Depends of the piece of chicken. Yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
9 kilos. I was
9.
corrected.
It's
No,
better.
sorry.
No.
Sorry. Hey, he got very nervous there. I saw that. 9 kilos. My apologies.
9 kilos.
It's heavy.
Ok.
Non, mais c'est important parce que les mecs, ils vont se dire.
Non, mais ça, après, c'est pareil. I suppose this is the same technique with any penny. So you have to put the basket in the.
Our basket. I'll come back into the screen. So our basket, we just had a process where we tested this. Our basket, fully loaded with 6 head of chicken, is lighter than the Henny Penny basket. The basket itself for Henny Penny is twice the weight of the Winston basket. So if they have 6 heads of chicken, or we have 6 heads of chicken, our total weight is less than Henny Penny at 6
Yeah,
heads.
okay. Le panier est plus léger.
Well, you're going
Le
against the
panier
4 head probably.
est vide. Yeah, okay.
All right. Let's cook some chicken.
Je sais pas ce qu'il y a là, ma caméra.
Non, mais elle marche bien.
Non, marche pas.
Mais si, mais on voit bien ce qu'ils font.
Oui, c'est la leur caméra.
All right. So once the chicken is dropped, if I get this glove off, you're going to close your lid, listen for the snap of the handle, and then press your channel 3 to start your cook timer for 15 minutes.
So do you want to just show
Channel
on
3.
this?
Yeah, okay. Channel 3.
We're on
was
channel
your program.
3 today, so we're going to,
Yeah,
once you close the lid, snap that handle back,
Ouais.
press the number, press the channel button, and that's going to start your timer.
So you can see steam coming out of the rear of the fryer. That's where we
Yeah.
talked about the dead weight,
Yeah.
having 1.5 kilograms. Was that what the conversion was? So it's working again. So over that, the pressure is being released out the rear. Ryan, could you show on this fryer right here just the snapping motion of closing?
Yes, please. How do you close the lid?
So whenever you go to, once you get the chicken dropped, you're
Yeah.
going to lower the lid and then press down.
Ah.
Well, that wasn't a. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll see then you'll see this will pop up. That's fine.
Okay. Again, please. One more time, please, if you can.
One more time, you said.
Yeah, please. No, just slowly.
Slowly, yes. Thank you.
Ok. Donc là, tu fermes.
Ouais.
Ok. Yeah.
Okay.
Press down
T'appuies.
and then pull the
Right,
handle
that-
forward.
Right.
And once the handle is in place,
That's
this front lever will pop up
Ouais,
and
ok.
lock it in. It locks it in
Okay.
place.
And then
then when
to
I-
open, you push, I suppose.
you push, okay.
Quick, to open it.
To open, so
Mm.
we'll get, yeah, I'll go ahead and show you that too. So whenever you go to open it, once it's done cooking, you press this front lever down for 3 seconds and then slide the handle back and then pull up. It's important too, as well, only lift your one hand. That way
Okay.
you can step away
Ah,
from
yeah.
the fryer. If you open it with 2 hands, your face is automatically going to be looking down into the hot oil. It could be dangerous.
And you, during the cooking, there is a security.
Yes, c'est pour ça que c'est fermé là.
You cannot open the lid during the cooking.
No, you wouldn't want to open the lid right now because the pressure is built up inside there.
Yeah.
You could on an LP fryer if you needed to, because the pressure is lower. But you realistically want to let the cook cycle finish.
Yes, but I mean, in terms of security for the operators. When
Sure,
the
you want to finish the cook cycle. Yes.
But for example, the one which is cooking, you cannot open the lid, even if you want.
You can.
You can.
But you,
Ouais, mais bon, si je veux moi vérifier, parce que au niveau du temps, comment on peut.
Ouais, non, tu l'ouvres pas.
Ah non, tu l'ouvres pas?
I'm sorry, I'm
Because-
misunderstanding. I'm losing you a little bit just because of the noise in the background.
Yeah, okay. So my question was, because in France, we have a lot of norms of security, etc., etc. So, during the cooking, can the operator open the fryer?
No, it's mechanically locked in place. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you correctly with the sound of the
No.
hood. It's mechanically
So
locked
if
in
he-
place.
If he wants, he need to push, etc., and to it's complicated. I mean, so he cannot by accident open the lid.
There's too much pressure built up at this point
Okay.
to allow you to open it.
Ah, yeah.
So
Okay.
once the cook
No,
cycle
pas-
finishes
Ok.
and that pressure is finally released, you'll see the difference when we release the residual pressure at the end that allows
Yeah.
you to open the handle at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
But at this
Okay.
point, it would be dangerous to try to open it
Yeah.
with that much pressure built up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Donc, on fait une test cuisson. Il faut mettre
Ouais,
un
Jean.
minute de temps. Ouvrir.
Tu peux pas ouvrir ton
D'accord.
Tu es obligé de l'arrêter. Bah non, parce que la pression,
Ah oui, pardon.
tu vas même, tu vas forcer comme une bête.
Yeah.
Mais là, il-
So if I was
I'm going to show you what happens if you try to open it under pressure.
Yeah.
It's letting all the pressure out.
it's venting, you saw how it vented from the top? Because there's too much pressure, you can't.
Quand tu veux l'ouvrir,
Ouais.
la pression, elle s'en va.
Ok.
Donc, en fait, c'est comme une sécurité.
Alors,
Ok.
juste, quand on teste des produits de poulet,
Oui.
il faut mieux mettre un temps court, ouvrir, refaire un temps, rouvrir.
Oui. Obligé de faire une cuisson.
Ouais.
No, because we are very used to work with open fryer or with combi ovens, and the question of Gilda is that usually we look at the products during the cooking time, and then
Yeah,
we can adjust. We can't with this product.
No, you're not gonna see the
5
product until the
minutes.
cook cycle is complete.
Okay. I cook 5 minutes. I open. I look.
Yeah, you cook 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, you finish your cooking time.
It's okay.
If it's okay, it's okay. If it's not okay, you try again. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Understood?
Okay. While this is happening, I just want to roll over the filter machine and show you how that's assembled.
Ah, yeah, le système de filtration.
T'as pas?
Enfin, je sais pas.
Ah, ça me fait peur, ça.
Ouais.
Moi, je vais donner ça à voir, c'est bon, il va se débrouiller.
Ouais, c'est un...
Close.
Ouais. Ouais. Oui.
All right, so this is the filter machine that we're going to use for the fryer.
Yeah.
This was shipped to you as well. So there are a couple of components that go to the fryer. We have the wand,
Right.
which can be disconnected, like so.
Hmm.
And then inside, on the top, we have this guard to protect you from the hot oil. All right, always
Yeah.
make sure this is in place. We lift it open. Oh, we have a crumb catcher. So the crumb that's accumulated in the fryer will go
Yeah.
through this, okay? The lid's removed.
T'as vu la gueule de lui, là?
And the final component, I have a clean version of this because I have this pre-assembled, is the filter paper itself and the rack.
Ah, il y a un filtre papier.
C'est les mêmes qu'on a sur Fragmenteur.
Ouais, ouais.
So I'll just pan up. So inside of the
Okay,
of the
c'est le même
well,
système.
we have
Yes.
filter paper. We have this rack.
Yes. Yes. Bon, c'est la même chose que.
We have the same on Frymaster.
Yes.
Okay. So the filter paper itself has a hole right here that we want to align with this hole inside the rack.
Mm.
We'll slide it in.
Ah, il met des dents carrément, c'est l'enveloppe.
Non, c'est un sachet.
C'est l'enveloppe.
Ouais.
We'll align the hole with the other hole.
Oui.
We'll fold over the end of the filter paper
Ok, tu vois, tu replies.
to seal the envelope. Then we'll take this plate, this same piece that slides into the filter machine. We'll take, there's screws on here. They won't completely unscrew. They'll stop at the ends.
Ouais, c'est vrai que c'est dedans.
It'll fit in place. You'll line this hose with the hole. You'll crank down the bolts, and then we'll place it inside. And you can see right here, it can pop in and out. There's just a small gasket here. If you're
Yeah, okay.
filtering and you're sucking up air, check to see if this gasket's still in place. Put that back, and we'll assemble again. Again, make sure the guard is always in place. Crumb catcher. And then finally, the wands. Excuse me. That's how you assemble the filter machine. Holly, I think we had a short video we wanted to show while we end the cook cycle.
Again?
Holly's just going to pull up a short video that has French subtitles in it that we just want to show as part of what we're doing here while we're finishing the cook cycle. We have about 5 minutes left in the cook cycle.
Yeah. Il nous montre une vidéo en attendant les 5 minutes de fin de cuisson.
Par contre, une chose,
Vas-y.
il faut qu'ils disent combien de temps, enfin tous les combien de temps ils vont.
Oui.
Et c'est quoi ce qui dégage de la vapeur?
Ben, c'est la.
Rien, c'est la soupe. C'est une cocotte minute qui fait pisse. Ta cocotte minute chez toi, c'est la soupe. Non, c'est bon, c'est bon.
Les extractions de l'autre.
Oui, il y a une autre.
Mais il faut.
Kentucky is known for lots of things: horse racing, bourbon, and the most finger-licking good chicken on the planet. There's more than one way to fry chicken, but how do fast food restaurants do it so quickly? It's simple. They do it under pressure. Pressure fryers cook higher volumes faster, use less oil, and save on utility bills. Food is juicier, more tender, and absorbs less fat. How does a commercial pressure fryer work? Start with hot oil in the fryer, lower the chicken, close and lock the lid. The water in the chicken heats up, which creates steam and builds pressure. While steam is normally 212 degrees, a pressure fryer allows it to get around 250 degrees, which in turn cooks the chicken faster. Towards the end of the cooking, the fryer releases excess pressure. The result? Perfectly cooked chicken with a crisp exterior and a juicy, tender interior. Make it easy to cook under pressure with Winston's Collect-Bromatic Fryer, a workhorse designed for a legend. Request a demo to learn more.
Okay, I think we're back. Can you gentlemen hear us? No? All right, I'm not sure. Can you hear us? Can you give us a thumbs up? Can you hear us?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to
Can
make
hear
sure
me?
we're down to the
No,
final
what?
two.
one
Go ahead.
question, please, Steve, before. How much time should we filter the oil? I mean, after how many cooking cycles?
Once daily is what you'll need. Once daily, so you can cook approximately 160 kilograms of chicken before having to filter the machine. There's some operators that use a heavy breading and they'll filter twice a day, but generally you can cook a full day without having to filter once.
Alors oui, alors en fait, ça dépend beaucoup de comment est la panure. Mais sinon, tu peux faire 150 kilos.
La classe passe.
Ouais, mais ça fait que tu filtres souvent, hein. À mon avis, tu dois filtrer. Ouais,
Non,
ça,
mais je crois qu'il faut dire tous les 110 kilos pour être tranquille.
ouais, tous les 100. Ça dépend de la panure, tous les 100 ou 150 kilos. Là, il me dit si le mec a une panure hyper épaisse, c'est quasiment tous les jours. Yes, and what is the steam behind you know the steam?
So the steam is the pressure being released from the well itself. So as we described earlier, we're operating under approximately 1.5 kilograms, 1.75 kilograms. I think that's close conversion. And anything over that is pushing against the dead weight and releasing the pressure.
Okay.
So LP on the fryer stands for low pressure.
So this is oil steam, or water steam.
Steam.
Steam. Oui, donc steam, c'est de la vapeur.
Ouais,
Steam.
ouais.
D'où vient la flotte? Ils vont me poser la question, les clients, c'est important. D'où vient la flotte?
So steam is coming from the chicken.
Yeah. So there's and inside of here, the chicken is in the oil, and as moisture is released from the chicken, it's creating head pressure. So it's actually pushing down on the chicken is how it's working, and that head pressure is at the very top of the well. So that is steam coming out.
C'est ça.
Non, mais c'est de l'eau ou c'est de l'huile?
Non, c'est de l'eau.
C'est de l'eau.
Steam, c'est de la vapeur.
We're at the end of the cook cycle,
Ah, c'est du
so we're
frais.
gonna
Go ahead and pop this lid.
Bien, mais j'aurais aimé.
So you're gonna want to press down for about 3 seconds.
Existe de la vapeur.
On va l'ouvrir.
Allez, vas-y, mon gars.
C'est faux.
Ouais. Quand j'ai dit Alexandre, déjà, quand j'ai vu les vidéos,
When you go to lift it with one hand. That way you're not looking into
ouais,
it.
c'est bon. Regarde.
Then you're gonna
C'est
wipe
bon,
the
c'est
lid
bon.
with a towel
Ah,
to get any excess moisture down. The chicken.
c'est pareil, mais alors là, la grosse différence, c'est qu'ils ont les filtrations automatiques. Mais les pénis, c'est pareil. Hein.
Then hit your timer button, your channel 3, or whatever channel it is.
Il n'y a pas le regard automatique là-dessus?
Si, c'est réduction. Il y a un truc derrière, j'ai vu ça d'en
We're
bas.
gonna allow the chicken to drain for about 15 seconds or so.
Doit être 50, combien de temps pour écouter? Alors, mais
How much time do you have to wait?
For about 15 seconds. Maybe a little longer if you want it to drain it really well. So what your fryer actually has the hooks, the pan hooks here, so it can set. So you can actually take this chicken once it's drained and then transfer it to here.
Non, mais je dis, c'est pas pour
Non,
I'm actually going to take it to the table. So.
Non, mais lui, c'est un golemette. Enfin, là, il a blindé chaque niveau.
Oui.
So
Oui.
et
now
le
we
portage,
have
il a pas mis sur
our
ça,
fully
il a
cooked
mis sur
chicken here, and then you have this tool that
Ouais.
you actually use to grab each rack. So you're going to take this top part of the tool here and grab the top rail,
Ouais, c'est moins cher. Non, mais c'est vrai. Hein, mais c'est
une ouverture.
just like that.
Sans mal. Ouverture.
And like I mentioned earlier, you're going to set the racks directly onto
En fait, je vais demander après.
the tray.
Si c'est objectif. Ouais, les grosses différences. C'est une pilote, quoi.
Ouais, c'est
Ah ouais, bah, non, mais là, c'est, là,
Non, mais par contre, il faut faire des tests. C'est surtout l'ouverture moi, qui me surprend. Mais toi, faut que tu sois. Le problème, c'est le personnel, ils font pas ça.
En fait, quand c'est fini pour l'ouvrir, tu sais, t'as plus de vent et ça lâche la vapeur.
Ouais, ouais.
Et là, il n'a pas attendu. Quand t'as de la pression, c'est dur à ouvrir.
C'est peut-être ça, c'est général, faut faire des tests avant.
Ah oui,
Alright.
demain.
So now we have the cooked chicken. It's on a rack or it's on a sheet tray.
c'est en bordel.
Yeah.
4 to a tray. Then you'll have 2 extras that you have room for the next 2 off your next batch. So these would automatically go into a holding cabinet at this point, to be held for service while you cook your next batch of chicken. And you can reuse your racks, but you'll need extra quarter racks to bread more chicken.
Yeah, I believe we sent you a case with 25 racks. Yeah.
Questions about any of that?
Je sais pas, en fait, on a reçu. T'as regardé tous les accessoires?
Ouais, j'ai regardé, j'ai vu ça.
Ah, ok.
J'ai retrouvé les grands.
We received the basket, the racks, etc., etc.
Any questions about the process while we're,
I think that's okay. So we'll test tomorrow ourselves.
Okay.
And maybe if there is some issue or something not clear, I'll call you back, Steve, maybe.
not a problem. I just want to go through the filtering of the fryer quickly. This will take 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so just a couple things to be aware of. So I'll roll the filter machine up.
Et le mec, il a filmé.
Ah.
Donc, enfin, j'ai vu des vidéos, c'est vrai que là, c'est plus parlant quand même. Oui,
So-
oui, je suis d'accord avec toi.
This tube that I showed earlier will go on
Yeah.
to the drain valve itself on the bottom. Uh-oh.
Est-ce que ça chaud? Là, là, t'as vu, c'est
Hold on.
Regarde comment il a l'air.
Ouais, c'est une piste, hein. C'est un propriétaire, une bonne horaire là-dessus.
Oh.
Yes. Sorry, my hands just a little bit warm. So one of the things you'll notice, so right now the fryer is on. If I were to go to open the drain valve right now,
Yeah.
we'll get an alarm that goes off. So I'll close the drain valve and then I'll turn off the fryer. This is now turned off the coils to the fryer. Now it's safe to drain the oil.
You don't have to wait until the oil to be cold in order
You-
to
The warmer the oil, the more easily it'll flow, the quicker it will filter.
Ah yeah, ok. Donc plus l'huile est chaude, et plus tu filtres facilement.
Là,
Ok.
Okay, so again, we have our guard on top. This is like acts as a splash guard. We'll open the valve and drain the oil.
C'est le PF50, c'est pareil.
mais j'ai pas compris pourquoi il galérait avec son filon. là.
After every cook, because we're doing a cook and filter, we're going to scrape down with our spatula a crumb line that builds up inside the fryer. So after every cook, just a quick scrape. Then we'll brush behind the coils. This will remove any buildup of crumb on the coils.
Ouais, donc ça, oui. Faut mieux le faire avant que ce soit sec.
Ah, ça m'intéresse, c'est comme des problèmes. En plus,
Voilà, attends, faut qu'on ait ça.
oui.
Non, mais bon, il faut.
Ouais, rien de compliqué.
Okay.
Ah non, ça, c'est clair.
We're
Non, non,
almost-
mais il faut de la manie, quoi. C'est
What'll
commencé, la
happen
manie.
is once we get low enough on the oil, we'll go to the point that the drain valve is higher than the amount of oil. At that point, we'll use our displacer. I described this earlier. What this does is it displaces the oil in the collector, forcing it up and out through the drain valve. We're almost to that point now.
D'accord. En fait, c'est quand l'huile qui reste, l'huile qui reste, il y a un moment où elle est plus basse que la vanne. Elle peut
Right.
pas se
At this
vider.
point, I can remove the heat plate.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Ah oui, ça fait un truc aussi.
I could just place that right here.
Et combien de temps? Tous les jours?
Non, tous les 100 kilos, à peu près. 100, 150, ça dépend beaucoup.
Oui, tous les jours.
Ouais,
bah
ça
oui.
dépend
Oui,
beaucoup.
parce que
si
c'est
t'as
pas des
beaucoup
kilos
de
en
farine.
panier.
Ah, mais c'est tous les jours.
Ouais.
Il faut dire ça, ça faire 2 ans. Le seul truc, c'est qu'il faudrait, là, il le fait comme ça, mais il faudrait lorsque toi, tu feras les tests de sang, c'est mettre un chrono. Ça va
Le problème,
parce que le décideur, si tu mets,
le problème, c'est une pénible. Une pénible en auto-filtration automatique.
c'est-à-dire que dans un service, ils peuvent encore l'utiliser, ça
Alors,
Non,
je-
non, je pense pas, non, mais bah, après,
il le savent ou pas? Non, parce que comme là, en état, là, il le fait, bon, il va pas vite, là, mais je pense qu'il faut, ça bloque pendant 10 minutes la production, quoi.
non, il le fait après, il le fait à la fin de la
Ah,
journée, il le fait à la fin de la journée. Ils font jamais de filtration
Et
pendant
tu
ça.
mets ça chez un TC, ils font pas 100 kilos par jour, ils font un peu plus. C'est-à-dire qu'ils font ça pour une production.
You can push this all the way down
C'est des trucs.
as we get lower.
Ouais, c'est un peu ça.
Elle dans son lit à un moment donné, et puis l'autre le tourne. Ah oui, c'est chaud.
One question, Steve.
Yes.
So is it the same process with any penny?
Henny
Because-
Penny does not have a collector in the bottom of the fryer itself.
Ah, ok. Ok, donc ils n'ont pas ce collecteur.
Okay, at this point, we could brush down any crumb that was near the bottom of the well. We can also, if we needed to, I'm just going to plug this in.
Ah oui. Ah bah oui, après tu fais.
We could also, at this point, take the wand. Before turning the fryer on, we could place the wand inside the fryer. And what we're going to do is we're going to rinse down the inside of the pot just real quick. I'll turn that back off. So now that, Rob, if you could zoom in, we just show how it's now cleaned down. All the crumb that was in there is now pushed down. And what I'll do is I'll take the collector one more time. I'll press out the remaining oil. There's one more step, and then we'll be completed.
Comme quand tu fais pour
Non.
dans ton truc, comme ton truc,
Un
il prend les
tube
bouches.
blanc, tu rentres dedans, donc l'huile ressort.
And again, when you talked about the filtration process of like a Henny Penny filter,
Yeah.
their process is different, but you're filtering every 3 to 5 loads. So there's time where you're stopping throughout the day. You are only having to do this, like we said, on average once a day.
Yeah,
Instead of
okay, so
multiple
this means
times a day.
that you should filter more often with any penny.
Yes, absolutely. Henny
but
Penny,
why?
depending on the fryer, is 3 to 5 times. After 3 to 5 loads, you will go into the filter process. With us, it's 1 time daily. So throughout
Yeah.
a lunch, dinner service, 1 time. All right. So now
Okay,
that
but
I've
how could
Go
we because it's very important, sorry to insist, but
yeah, no,
how
no,
could
please.
how can you explain this? I mean, why should we filter 3 times more with any penny?
Great question, because Henny Penny, the way their pot's designed, they have to filter out the crumb. It's continuing to cook. Their well is different than ours, to where the crumb is actually in the cooking area itself. Again, because we're 225 and that crumb is going down, it is not continuing to cook. It will continue to cook inside the Henny Penny fryer. That's why they have to.
I explain. So, en fait, any penny, ils n'ont pas ce système en dessous là.
D'accord.
Et en fait, ça sert à récupérer toutes les merdes qui tombent dans le fond. Alors que any penny, ils n'ont pas, ça tourne dedans tout le temps.
D'accord.
Donc l'huile se dégrade plus vite.
Et à mon avis, c'est plus propre pour les poulets aussi.
Probablement.
Je pense.
Donc
Ouais,
il dit, lui,
ouais.
que ça,
Ouais.
any penny,
Et c'est
quand eux c'est une fois, eux c'est 3.
Ok.
Donc ils font 3 fois plus de filtration.
The last thing we have to do is take out the collector and drain out the crumbs. So we'll take our collector tool, place it under. We'll make sure the lid is closed.
Quantité de trucs.
We'll give it a quick pop. Open the lid back up. We'll take our drain hook,
Risque de voler.
I mean our hook here. And like Ryan described, you want to have that hook inside here towards the front of you.
Okay.
I'll pull this up. Place the tool to the side. And then what we'll do is we'll drain the remaining oil and crumb into the filter machine. There's a chain on the bottom to help.
Une manipulation.
Okay.
Ouais, parce que là, il fait ça, mais il est quand même à 250 degrés.
Then what we'll do is we'll take the collector, we'll drop it back in. You'll hear it sink to the bottom. We'll take our tool, our tamper, our stir tool,
Complete.
and just like in the beginning of the process where we filled the oil, just tamp it around.
Ah ouais,
One,
okay.
2, 3, 4. Okay, now that it's
So-
seated, now what we can do, again, the drain valve is closed now. What I'll do is I'll close this lid here. I'll pull closer to the fryer. We'll take the wand and we'll place it behind the coils. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll start the filter process.
Il l'a coincé dans
Je vois.
à l'intérieur, il y a un truc là.
Pour que l'huile filtrée revienne à
And it'll take approximately 5 minutes to refill the vat itself.
Ah, aux États-Unis.
De toute façon,
Dans les États-Unis, les références, mais en Europe,
on n'a pas la brochure en français encore.
non, c'est que les sont déjà vendus en France.
While that's filling, do you have any questions about what we've done in this last process?
No, I guess regarding the process, it's quite clear. Few questions regarding maybe the distribution. Just to be clear, so you have no distribution or no sales in France, if I understood a little bit with Iridis or SFE.
Yes.
I don't remember which one, but I share with Donald, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some figures, it was like 0. No, just for us to well understand if you are already or what is your strategy in France or Europe. I don't want to push the line and to compete against you through another dealer or something.
No, that's
Just to
not a problem. Everything Donald had discussed with you previously is exactly where we stand today.
Yeah. Okay. So you have no real big distributor or partner in Europe, right?
No. When we're talking about this, no.
No.
Well,
okay.
where you're at,
especially in France.
we have partners in other region for distribution that we discussed
Yeah.
before, but in France, no.
No, okay. So it's important because if we, let's say, the thing is that we would like to have one key customer first, to
Yes,
start
we
pushing
I
and to
think
have-
Donald said explicitly you were protected on everything we discussed.
And then finally to be protected. That's it.
Mhm.
But this is another topic. But we need to be able to say to the customer on Monday if everything is going well. So be sure that you will not find this fryer in through other dealers or something.
No, that's not going to happen. Again, I'll refer back to what Donald said.
La question, quand on met le nettoyage, quand on met au rebut, c'est-à-dire qu'on va mettre de l'eau dedans, est-ce qu'il y a une procédure? Est-ce qu'il y a
Le nettoyage.
Ouais, nettoyage?
So do you have a specific process for the cleaning?
For cleaning with the water and the...
So what was the product that we were saying for the cleaning of the well? I'm drawing a blank on the name.
On met de l'eau, on met de la poudre et puis...
We're not boiling out in the fryer. It's simply soap, water, rinse down, and dry out the well.
Okay, so water in,
So you're gonna,
Water?
so you could use on like a, you know, like a green pad, soapy water, wipe down with a clean pad, clean down, and then we don't want water inside the well. We don't want to use a boil out or any system like that because we are a pressure vessel. We do not want boil out inside the fryer.
Yeah, okay. So you should clean with a soap, whatever,
Yes.
manually. Okay, and yeah, okay, but you don't have any.
Oh, the collector, the collector itself, you could wash in the sink.
Yeah, okay, ouais.
Oui, ouais. Après, tout ce qui se démonte, tu le fous dans un lave
Oui, bien sûr. Ouais, non, mais vous avez bien compris.
Non,
il y a
non,
la
en
cuve.
fait, non, t'as pas de non, c'est à la main. Savon.
c'est.
So you don't have any automatic cleaning setting.
No,
It's
no,
manually.
no, correct. We do not have an automatic cleaning setting.
98 degrés.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a une pénible?
Right. So, and maybe, I don't know, Steve, maybe you have finished with the demo?
Thank
Yes,
you very much.
yes, unless there are other
Because
questions, or when you finish talking after this, just send us any
I have
questions
one-
you have.
I
Go
have
ahead.
one question, but it's not about the product.
Okay.
Maybe. So, first, I don't know if you register this video or not. No,
Yes,
maybe not.
I believe the video is recorded, so we can send you a
Recorded,
copy
yeah.
of this.
Yes, please, because for Gilda.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. J'envoie la vidéo, super.
What would be very a key point? It's again Winston versus any penny. Advantages, defaults, etc. So we will be compared for sure.
Yes.
We are not used to. We don't know so much any penny pressure fryer. Honestly, it's a new business, new product, new etc. So what could we? I understood that we need to clean once a day when any penny needs 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So this means time saving, oil saving, etc.
So, yeah, so you have time saving, you have oil saving, we're a better price on the equipment than Henny Penny.
Yeah,
We have less
yeah,
wear parts, so year after year costs we're better than Henny Penny. If you were to go across your whole list to check the boxes, outside of having a built-in filtration, we're the better piece of equipment.
Yes, because regarding
Because these, sorry. I was going to mention this. I don't think I mentioned this before, but we are certified 25 years as a pressure vessel on this as well.
2.5? No.
2.5,
No,
2.5, 25.
The pot, yeah. Okay. And so one other point.
Henny Penny, and a Henny Penny is 7 on their wells because it's welded with corners.
Yeah.
And those corners
square.
will, because of what happens as the oil decomposes, the acids eat away at the welds.
Le fait qu'il n'y a pas, que la cuve soit cylindrique, il n'y a pas de soudure.
So I believe it's 7 years, they have to be recertified.
Sans pression, il y a moins de risque.
Il y a moins de risques alors qu'il semblerait que une cuve carrée soudée, ça
Mais qu'est-ce que Penny a?
Yeah,
Et
so-
l'inverse, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont eux?
Because I am with another guy there, my just around
Pleasure to meet you.
checking your video. Yeah. And one question. Bah, vas-y, So Gilda, bye bye. So
Thank you. Thank you
Pleasure.
for the video.
Good luck.
to be perfectly clear and speak open book, what has any penny that you don't have? If you know what I mean.
I would
know-
say the only thing they have on the fryer that you're going to be using versus us would be the built-in filtration system.
Yeah.
But again, with that, it has to be filtered more often than we do. So there's a benefit to that, but also a disadvantage to that. And then the Henny Penny, if the filtration system is inoperable, the fryer is dead. You cannot use the fryer. You do not have to worry about that. And then here, you can fry throughout the day.
Yeah, okay. So it's more technical, it's more dangerous because you could have more failures. Ouais, en gros, bon,
So somebody just reminded me, we have a Henny Penny Winston comparison sheet. So I'll
Yes,
get that
please.
to you right after. I'll send it to you right after this meeting.
Perfect. That's fine. Okay.
Ils ont la filtration automatique.
Ouais, ils ont la filtration
Et pas eux.
automatique. Alors après, Timbre.
intégré. Et qu'est-ce que eux ont de bien que ni Penny n'a pas?
Alors, c'est ce qu'il a dit avant. Oui. On a fini. On a alors.
J'apprends l'anglais. Il est parti nettoyer la cuisine, il arrive. Attends, on est en vidéo.
Consomme 3 fois moins d'huile, ça c'est sur le papier. Hein. Donc, puisque tu filtres 3 fois moins souvent.
Ça, c'est important.
Ah oui. Parce que toutes les merdes elles tombent en bas et elles se mélangent pas tout le temps dans l'huile. Donc tu peux, voilà, tu filtres 3 fois moins souvent, donc tu gagnes du temps, a priori.
Est-ce que sur un mois, comme ils l'ont fait, ou sur une année, ils peuvent, eux, ils ont des calculs qui prouvent, comme avait dit François un jour, vous pourrez vous acheter un tank à l'année. C'est-à-dire
Ouais.
que c'est comme un client, il a 100 friteuses, j'ai une connerie. Est-ce que on est capable de dire par rapport à Penny, bah, au bout de 3 ans, ça lui paye ses 20 friteuses?
So regarding this, last point, Steve, regarding this, less oil consumption and less filtration, number of filtration. Do you have something which easier in terms of money?
Yes, well, we have several side-by-side documents, so I'll get you what's appropriate to the test that you're holding.
Perfect. So if you could share these documents, benchmark against
One of the points when you're looking at the spec where it shows we have over 70 pounds of oil in this, only approximately 50 pounds are used for cooking, again, because of the cold zone. So any questions that you have when you read through the documents, please let us know and I'll get the answer back quickly.
Yeah, how many liters of oil do you need? No, sorry, liters.
36 liters.
36
quoi?
Litres d'huile. C'est beaucoup ça.
On s'en fout s'il économise. Ça, en fait, ce qu'il faut faire, c'est un benchmark. Effectivement,
il va nous l'envoyer.
Et à l'année, si par exemple ils économisent 500 litres d'huile, c'est le prix d'une friteuse.
Oui, c'est ça. Non, mais ça, ils ont. OK. So, if you could share these documents, benchmark against any penny, we will start to work on our arguments. Okay.
Okay.
Not only the techniques and the product, but also the arguments. Okay.
That's right. And if you have any specific items, I know we talked about chicken tenders, but if there are any other items that you're looking at frying, just let us know, and I'll work with Ryan to get you the appropriate times and temps for those programs.
Okay, good. So we will try to get the spec sheets and the details regarding the products. Okay,
great.
Good.
Thank you.
So perfect, Steve. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for accommodating the time. I know we were working back and forth, and hopefully next time we can do this in person.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. And I will keep you posted, guys, regarding this demo, if everything was well or not.
It's going to go well. Think positively.
Yeah,
it's going to go
we
well.
are pushing. Be sure. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.